a red dot was on the bottom. Oh, there it is. Hi. Good morning, everyone. And we're continuing the story of my life as one of 17 children. And I'm dedicating this writing and this conference with Bridget to the Holy Family, which is Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. And I just want to share this and say thank you, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, first of all. I've got to always remember to start off with that. But for helping me experience the memory. And I have to tell you something else I'm experiencing through this project with their help is the strength of feeling and grace as I start typing. And the words flow so freely. It's just, I shouldn't be amazed because I'm asking for help and I'm getting help, but always when with your prayer life, you will be amazed. And so I thank Jesus, Mary, Joseph for the memory of that they are giving me to help me with this story. I wanted to find out from Bridget. I'll ask you a question. Did I talk about Cheaper by the Dozen movie? The 1950 movie that came to the nation, the United States?
A little
bit, okay. So I didn't even know that. Well, the child, well, I probably said this, the child that was born was Christine Marie, and she was born in 59, December 59, but the movie came out and the whole thing was 1950. She was about 12 or 13 months at that time. And so we were 6 and 6. And of course, that's why we made the Dallas Morning News and the Dallas Times Herald. And I talked about the Majestic Theater. But the amazing thing is Clifton Webb was the original actor of this Cheaper by the Dozen. When we saw it, and I don't know if I said this, but I must have been a comedian from a long time ago, because I remember marching, and I was always in the middle in the family. And I guess just the way they did. They marched us in the theater, and we kind of lined up with our ages, I guess, for top, like going down. And I remember looking out at the screen was this way, and I was looking at all the audience, and the lights were on, and they were like, and they were all kind of like this, counting the numbers. And I said to the closest one, I said, I'm a cousin of these people. So how did I think that thought? I don't know. But they all laugh because, I look like everybody else. So what are we talking about? So I think that was a blessing that our Lord gave me throughout my life, and I just have that natural feeling, a way to express myself. I think that's what it is. Well, I have to tell you something. Is talk to you about our Bowser house, 4427 Bowser. I mentioned I couldn't remember where the closet was, and I'll explain that. We know the 2 bedrooms had closets. But I said, wait, how did we hang our hanging things? There's just no closet. I found the closet. The memory came. It's the hall closet. This giant hall closet. And the way I describe it is it was the end of the hallway by the porch bedroom, which was made out into a bedroom, and then between the kitchen. Anyway, when you open the closet door was a huge closet door. It was like 5 feet wide, about 6 feet deep, and about 8 feet tall, which is the ceiling of our, the rooms in our house. And I have to say something to you. It was no furniture, no shelves, no baskets, just clothes. So now I know where that peach taffeta dress went that my sister Ursula had on one of my Christmas pictures. It had to be in that pile. All I know, this is another thing, nobody thought to organize it, or maybe they did, maybe the elders did, and then it didn't stay organized. But at my age, I want you to know there's a mountain of clothes in there. And what we did, we're always having fun. Open that door wide all the way across. We would run and jump in the pile of clothes, and then get out, and then the next one would run and jump in the pile of clothes. It went to make fun of things that we have around us, and to create the fun was incredible. And of course, along comes Mom. What exactly are you all doing? And we all line up. There's got to be 3 or 4 of us lined up. And, you stop. You're leaning against the wall, and we look at Mom. We're real quiet. No one said anything. Is it what I think you're doing? And we all. And Mother says, "Stop it. The end of this playtime is over." And then she closed the door to the closet. But I have to tell you, those were all clothes to be ironed. Clothes that we grew out of. Clothes, I don't know, winter, summer, fall, spring, whatever they were in that closet, that's what's in there. And we grew up with that closet. Now, if I was looking for that chapter, that's where I should have found it. I probably would have found it. But while we were in school, Mom would clean out that closet, okay? Well, I think what she did, and of course they didn't have plastic bags in those days, you had to get a box. Mother must have just gathered all those clothes and then gave them to the poor. That's what I think, because I never saw those things again. So, did we have a closet for hanging things? I'm telling you, I don't know where it would have been. So there you go. Maybe we folded our dresses. Maybe I don't have any memory for that, but I just wanted you to know I did find the closet I was looking for. Okay. We all talked about the 100. Oh, and all our clothes were 100% cotton. You didn't have polyester. That didn't exist. So everything had to be ironed. And who was going to iron the clothes? Mother could not iron it, so it was all, the guys didn't do it. It was us girls. So Joanne, Ursula, and me, and on down to Eileen were the ones that did the ironing when we got a chance to do it. But I'll give you further story on that because it's down the page. But one of the things, Bridget, you might research this. I started to do it on my own time, but I didn't. A 1945 style washing machine with one of those. It's open. It doesn't. It's round. It doesn't have a top to it. It's just you can see the water, and it has one of these rolling things that you after it comes washing and the dry. the spin. You put the clothes in this wringer thing, and it wrings out the extra water. So, and I'm thinking about 1945 because I would have been 5 years old at that time. And it could be so you might look at that. So we could put it with this story, I guess. Well, I know one time I was walking through the kitchen and the wash machine overflowed or something. Oh, mother hooked up the tubes to the cold and hot water of the sink in the kitchen. That's how it worked. And it was on wheels. That was not a washing machine in my younger days. Anyway, I fell and slipped and I fell on my, why do we call it a funny bone on your behind? It wasn't funny at all. And I, kind of, and I laid there on the floor. I remember this memory in the water, and I couldn't move. And I thought, well, okay, I'm paralyzed, and nobody's around. And I said, well, okay, somebody will finally get me or something. And finally I started moving, rolling, and finally I rolled, turned over and on my knees, and then I got up, and the pain was gone. And I got up, and guess what, people? I went on my way. Does anybody know I have hurt myself? No, we don't. We just kind of go on and accept these little inconvenient incidents. Is what I call it. Going back to the irony. Oh, this is a story that will beat all stories. Well, I think it is. Remember I said all our clothing was 100% cotton. Well, there comes along an older brother. We will not say his name because I had a lot of older brothers. He asked me he tossed his khaki pants to me as I walked through in the room. Here, iron my khaki pants. That's how he says. Okay. And I said, no. And he says, what? I'm not going to iron your pants. You're allowed to iron your own pants. And he came back at me and said, hey, okay, I'll give you 25 cents. I remember 25 cents. I said, I'm not going to iron your pants. For 25 cents? I'm not ironing your pants. And he says, he pushed me. He pushed me down, which is kind of like, I know he didn't mean to hurt me or be powerful, but he's strong, and he pushed me, and I fell like 4 or 5 feet away. I just got up and walked away. But I will say this, that brother never, ever asked me to iron anything for him, which is a good thing. He learned a lesson that you can't push little Angela around. So that was good. I felt empowered and strength that I could turn my brother down, something like that. And then John and me, we're back eating dinner together. We're all doing this now. I forgot all about it, but I don't think he did because he's never asked me that again. This is the lovely thing about being and every family is creative and their dealings with one another. But we had a jungle gym set, swing set in the backyard. So I don't know who it was that thought of this, but we got a top of our mattress of a single bed on the porch. And on every mattress, they have these little 4 tags on the side, very strong tags, which you hold and carry them out. Now, we're carrying them out to the swing set. We hooked the chains, the 4 chains, so like 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 2 swing sets, and had the seat of the swing set underneath the mattress, and the mattress is on inside that. Or how we kind of did that, and we created a what do you call it? A lounging swing. And so we started one at a time, got on it, the others would swing it, okay, push it, and it was great. It was this is wonderful. Of course, the mattress is that striped ticking kind of thing, very soft, Then we tried 2 people, and then we tried 3, and we said, well, that's it. The 4th one or 5th one had to, help with the swing set. So we did that that lasted for hours. All I know, I laughed because Mother, how did we take the mattress and do all this without her even seeing this is what I'd like to know. But here she is, coming on the little side porch of the backyard. Okay. No, I can just see my mother. She's lost for words because she sees a mattress out there doing something like, we are such mistress. What do you call it? Mischiefs is what she could probably say, unhook it, bring the mattress back if it's not ruined, and that's it. But I'm sure she probably went in the house and started laughing. She had to laugh because this is something you don't expect your children to do. You just don't. But anyway, that was, I say right there, never to design a new play item ever. And so I think I should add, never to design a new play item with our household goods. I think that's we got to put that in there. So, but that was our entertainment for several hours, and just a few hours. I have another thing. As we played softball on the front lawn, and also in the street, of course, and we played every game and on our lawn. Mother was never concerned about the grass. She never said, "Oh, get off the grass" or something like that. No, I mean we just did it, and I don't think it was too bad. Maybe it was. Maybe we really slaughtered our lawn with making it look like dirt more than grass. But that was a nice thing that Mother saw the happiness of what we were doing, and she just didn't complain about it at all. Um, this is another story, and my father got help from my mother, but see the help that she got, they would be there while we were at school, so we never knew any of them except one of them, which was Christine the maid, and she was the one that stayed later sometimes, maybe like once a month, maybe I don't know any much longer, but she would offer to make the breakfast that I talked about of scrambled eggs and bacon or sausage, but she would make her famous biscuits. And she would get all of that done. And of course, we'd get home about, 3:30, 4 o'clock. And she was doing this early, but she had a way of keeping the oven on low. So and the scrambled eggs would be warm and the bacon's done, but just so that the last minute, all Mother had to do was the biscuits were already patted down and ready to be put. It was probably ready on the cookie sheet, but sitting on top, and Mother all she had to do was put it in the oven. And that's I wanted to mention that it was wonderful to have Christine and I helping my mother, and that she did that for us. Oh, this is the other thing. Okay, I call it the telephone booth, and if you can vision, I'm really thinking. I don't know my measurements too well, but that big long hallway with unusual house, and that now I know why Dad and Mom bought. One of the reasons why they bought it is that it was like 5 feet down the hallway from the living room all the way to the porch, to the back bedroom. And all these entrances to the bedrooms and to the bathrooms and that kind of thing. Well, right outside the beginning of this hallway was the what do you call it? A built-in little shelf we called it a telephone booth, and our big black telephone, which was it's very heavy thing, and in big handle, and you dial the numbers in those days. But anyway, that's what it was, and of course, facing that wall would be the bathroom is over here to the left. And would you put a telephone next to a bathroom, 4 feet away, and hear the toilet flushing as you're talking on the phone? Builders, what were you thinking of? Anyway, we would have to put, of course, a cloth or something over the mouthpiece of our phone when that happened, okay? Hoping that they wouldn't hear. And then, of course, we complained to Mother. Can you do something about these kids? Will you tell them to close the bathroom door, flush the toilet, closing the door? Of course, the door was closed, but it didn't matter. When they opened it, it was still flushing. That was our best embarrassment, and we dealt with it by complaining and whatever, and trying to teach these kids some mannerisms, okay? But the other thing I have to tell you about that telephone is off limits for anybody that could talk that was under 5. Off limits. And the reason why I said if you could talk, because there's some 3-year-olds that came and pulled it off. Said some Chinese words whenever the phone rang, and this is, destroying our friends calling us. Of course, they all knew about our family. They all laughed. They all thought it was funny. But Mother got them all lined up and talked to them. Nobody answers the phone. Only the adult children. She called us the adult children. We're adult children, and we're 10 years old. I love Mom's expressions. So anyway, that was good. But what I have to tell you is that the boys started calling. I was in 6th grade. I think I was 6th grade. 6th or 7th. More 7th, but 6th. And that's when we started really fixing my hair and, going to school really with iron blouses, all the way iron blouses. Now, we used to just iron the front because we had a uniform sweater. You didn't have to iron the sleeves or the back. But, summer, the spring and the fall, well, you had to iron the whole blouse. But anyway, what it was is the boys started calling, and it's funny, but I had 8th grade boys calling me when I was in 6th and 7th grade. Not the grade that I was in. But of course, I'm old. I'm the same age as they are, and maybe that's what it was, But I would get to school, and they would come up, approach me, and talk to me. And of course, what I didn't know then, and I know now, there would be two boys, 2 friends vying for my attention. And got in a fight one time, and I, didn't know what that was all about. But one of the girls told me, Angela, they're fighting over you, And I go, oh, not me. Yes, you. Well, okay, let them fight, whatever, I didn't understand that. See, I'm not really ready for that boyfriend thing, but I didn't think I was ready, but I started flirting. I learned that. And I started fixing my hair, oh, wait a minute. You have to understand what we did. You take a piece of hair, okay, like this, and how we didn't buy rollers, okay, we had bobby pins. You put your finger there, and you roll the ends on, and you roll this up, okay? You're rolling, and you're rolling, and you're rolling, and you put it in there, and you put a bobby pin in there. And that's how we did our hair. And then in the morning, it would fluff up, and there you go. So that's how we did our hair. Our curl our hair. Ursula tells me now that she went to the beauty shop and she got a permanent. And I'm going, okay, well, that's interesting. I had straight hair. I said, I got the straightest hair of all of them, and no one offered me to have a permanent, but maybe it's because of Ursula's experience, because those hot rollers, those permanent hot rollers, have you ever seen those old-fashioned things that the wires coming out and then they clip on your hair? Scary. So maybe Ursula said, Mom, don't do it. Don't let anybody else do it. Well, this is fine. Hey, I rolled my hair. So, it's wonderful to get calls from the boyfriends. I think all of us very rarely called our girlfriends because of the toilet situation. Maybe that was it. I didn't call anybody. Hey, you're busy. You got duties. You got things to do. it's full of activity. Every minute of the day, there is full of activity. And let me say this, the feeling of confusion that I'm trying to create. But you can go in corners of the house. And I remember going into Joanne and Ursula's bedroom, the little bedroom, and laying on their bed in the window, and it was raining. And I had a book I was supposed to read. I just would look out there in the rain and just fall asleep with the pillow close to the windowsill and fall asleep. So nobody was in the room. So there's spaces of time and places that you could do that. So yes, we all learned that ability. So I loved it. We had the boyfriends, not boyfriends. I mean, just boys that were friends with us. I think that's what I would like to call it. And don't know, no, and in our day, in my day, at that age, 6, 7, and 8, you didn't have, what you call a steady boyfriend. They're going steady, or they're part. No, we didn't have, none of us. I don't even remember thinking that we had the term of that. So that's interesting for you all to know that. The other thing is, there was, in our class, Jane Ann Peak had a birthday party in her house, and boys and girls were invited. It was like Saturday night, and so we wore kind of party dresses and everything. And our parents would drop us off, and she would have snacks like, I don't know, kind of whatever. I loved it because they had Coca-Colas, and we didn't have that at home, but they served Coca-Colas and sandwiches and chips and dips, things like that. Brownies were favorite kind of dessert. So I remember playing Spin the Bottle. Well, Spin the Bottle is you gather around in a circle and you spin the Coca-Cola bottle, and that bottle points to you, okay, you're one. And then the girls get it there and get the part. Well, the bottle points also to me. And then the boys get around a circle and they spin the bottle, and then that Coca-Cola bottle points to a guy. So they told us, come over here in this foyer, not foyer, but this area right next to the kitchen. And they had the doors close to the bedrooms, but there's this one door to the living room. So they, pushed us in there. Now, I'm knowing what's going to happen. It's supposed to have a kiss. This is spin the ball kiss thing. So they pushed us in there, and I don't even know who the boy was. I can't remember that. My hand caught on the door, the crack of the door, and the door closed. So the guy in front of me I'm screaming. And the guy says, and knocks on the door, get us out of here, get us out of there. And of course, they're not doing it. And I'm screaming. And finally, they open the door and, got ice for me. And that game stopped because of me, because of what I did. Nobody else was fooling out. Well, of course, I was pushing that so I wouldn't get into the room. I'll see how I can remember that. Well, you will remember your smashed hand. Did I come home and tell Mother and Daddy about this? No. Did I come home and see a swollen hand? Didn't show it to them. These are things that you just keep to yourself. So that's another thing about growing up in a big family. All day. Okay, this other thing I wanted to tell you about. Well, now that we are noticing boyfriends and the subject of my first ball, I don't know. Now you have to understand. This is now 1952, something like that. I'm I could be in sixth grade, but I'm 6th or 7th, but I think I'm more in 7th grade. It's really funny because my development I was a skinny, little raunchy little thing. And in our day, there was no training bras. Okay, you don't do that, which I think it was really cute to have, and now later on. But how I got my first bra is Ursula came and gave me her bra that she outgrew, and so it's small, but it's too wide. So I took safety pins in the back of the bra and folded it and put safety pins in there, and I put on this bra, and it fit. It was fine. Well, I didn't fill it out, but it was, covering me. So I think she had a couple of them, and then Eileen, I don't think did this, but I don't know. I just really don't know right now about that, but I'm sure she was getting one too. We're really, even though I'm a year ahead of her in development, she would catch up with me too. So that was our bra, and it's interesting because 1 week, like Monday through Friday, I'm wearing this bra. On the weekend, I didn't wear the bra. So that did the laundry. And mother must have seen this bra with the safety pins and saying, "Oh my God, they're already ready for this." We didn't. Do you understand? Mother's busy. We don't go to mother and say, "Hey, come on, we got to go shopping." No, you see your sisters helping each other. That's the most beautiful thing that I think is good about big families. They help each other. So mother must have done. You know what? She knew. Maybe Ursula went to the shop with her. I don't know, but I didn't go. Mother came home with new bras for Eileen and I, and that's how we got our brand new bras. Is what it was. And I think that's a beautiful feeling of having, and that's another thing. With the telephone calls coming, I think that's what we realized. We got to start wearing bras. Now, let me tell you something. We didn't wear bras on the weekend, and in the summer, we wore t-shirts. We didn't wear bras. We just wore t-shirts, and then bathing suits covered us. And then the other thing is we always had pinafores, and pinafores is all in one top and skirt going together. And we didn't wear bras doing that. So I thought that was interesting. It's called freedom. You don't have these extra things on you. So I love that idea. So Bridget, I'm just thinking this is a good time to tell you that we did a good job, I feel. I have to tell you, I love the laughter I'm experiencing because it's bringing back the enjoyment and sure oh my God, sure we had fights. Well, there was just, we were blessed. We just were blessed. That's I can tell you. So that's it.